The Château d'If is a fortress built on an isolated slab of rock in the Mediterranean. It is a place designed with a single purpose: to hold political prisoners until they are completely forgotten by the outside world. For 14 years, a sailor named Edmond Dantès is trapped in this vacuum. His only anchor to sanity is an old priest in the adjacent cell, Abbé Faria. But when the frail priest suddenly dies, Edmond loses the one person keeping him human. Staring at his mentor's corpse, Edmond realizes a morbid, uncompromising reality about the fortress. The guards only row a boat away from this island for one specific reason: to dispose of a dead body. When faced with a lifetime locked inside a stone box, the only way out is to stop thinking like a prisoner and start thinking like a corpse. Edmond acts quickly. He drags Faria's body into his own cell. He takes the coarse burial sack meant for the priest, crawls inside, and sews the mouth of the fabric shut from the inside, gripping a small, sharp knife in his right hand. The grave diggers will haul him to an island burial ground, drop him in a shallow grave, and cover him with loose earth. Once the footsteps fade, he will use the knife to slice open the fabric, push through the dirt, and sprint for the water. It is a calculated, brilliant sequence, based entirely on what a standard prison would do with a body. But Edmond has made a terrifying miscalculation regarding the actual geography of the Château d'If. A survival plan is only as solid as the facts it relies on. If even one underlying assumption is wrong, the trap snaps shut. Inside the dark, coarse sack, Edmond has to rely entirely on his hearing. Heavy footsteps approach. The gravediggers hoist him onto a rigid hand barrow and begin their march. Almost immediately, the men grumble about the extreme, unexpected weight of the old priest's body. Edmond stiffens his muscles to play the part of dead weight. Then the routine deviates entirely. The men drop the stretcher onto the stones. Edmond feels them tie a thick cord tightly around his ankles, securing something heavy to his feet. As they lift him again and march forward, the air grows sharply cold. Instead of the quiet rustle of a graveyard, Edmond hears the rhythmic, heavy thud of ocean swells crashing violently against jagged rocks. When the physical evidence around you directly contradicts the mental map in your head, a calculated risk instantly turns into an uncontrollable nightmare. The gravediggers aren't walking down into a valley. They are climbing up a set of stairs. Through the fabric, Edmond hears one of them joke that it is bad weather for a dip in the sea. As this text excerpt shows, Edmond realizes the awful truth of the prison a fraction of a second too late. The sea was the cemetery of the Château d'If. They don't bury their dead, they throw them off the highest wall. The men swing him by his head and his feet. He plummets through the air and smashes into the freezing salt water. Instantly, that mysterious weight tied to his ankles takes effect. It is a 36-pound rusted iron cannonball, dragging him straight down into the pitch black. With his lungs burning, Edmond has a matter of seconds to execute 3 precise, rapid-fire movements. He must suppress the shock of the ice-cold water, rip open the thick shroud with his knife, and hack through the tight cord binding his legs. Surviving a catastrophic failure means abandoning the original master plan the exact second it falls apart, and solving the immediate, lethal problem right in front of you. Edmond bends his body in the dark and severs the rope. The iron weight drops into the abyss. Kicking free of the heavy fabric, he propels himself upward and bursts through the surface into the night air. He manages to swim to a nearby island, alive, but the trusting, naive sailor who was locked away 14 years ago drowned at the bottom of that cliff. This passage highlights the unintended parting gift from his mentor. Before dying, Faria had deduced exactly who framed Edmond, replacing the young man's hopelessness with a cold, calculated wrath. The fall from the fortress wall acted as a violent crucible. The extreme pressure of the sea crushed the innocent sailor and forged the mastermind known as the Count of Monte Cristo. Ultimately, getting out of a cage is only the first step. True survival is the brutal capacity to rewrite your entire reality the moment you realize you're falling in the dark.